Hey guys, this is SJ Football 16 and today I'll be revealing my predictions for week 34 of the Barclays Premier League season 2015-16. It's coming near the end, but also, I forgot to mention, there is a game in hand today being played between Palace and Everton as well as week 34 games, so I'm going to start with that one first. You may be surprised by me saying this, but Everton haven't been playing well this season. And Palace they're picking up their form, so I'm going to say 3-0 to Palace. Actually, you might be surprised by that, but that's what I think. I think it's going to be 3-0, and the scorers are going to be Jason Puncheon with 2. He's played well recently, getting a goal against Norwich, and I think Sacco is going to get one. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Norwich City and Sunderland. These are the week 34 games now. This is the early one. I think this one is going to be actually 2-1 to Sunderland. Norwich, I just cannot see Norwich staying up this season. Plus Sunderland have another game in hand as well, and Sunderland, I think they have a better squad overall. They have a better manager. I just can't see Norwich holding out for the rest of the season. So I'm going to say 2-1, and the scorers are going to be Patrick Bamford for Norwich, the striker, and I think Yedlin and Barini are going to score for Sunderland, as they've been playing well recently. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Everton and Southampton. I think the score in this is going to be 2-0 to Everton, actually, because Southampton, I have a feeling they're not exactly playing well at this current stage at the moment, and Everton, they could pick up their form. I don't think they're going to beat Palace, but against Southampton, I think they do have a chance, because I don't think Southampton's as good as everyone says they are at this moment, and Palace, they could pick up their form. So it's going to be 2-0 to Everton, and I think it's going to be Gareth Barry and Romelu Lukaku to score. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Manchester United, who are pushing for a top 4 position, and Aston Villa, who are bottom of the league and will probably be relegated this weekend, I think. They could be relegated this weekend. So I think there's no doubt who I think is going to win. It's going to be Manchester United, obviously, with a 4-1 win, because I cannot see Aston Villa. They might not even get a point for the rest of the season, even. So I'm going to say it's going to be 4-1 to Manchester United. Scorers are going to be Wayne Rooney, Chris Smalling, I think also Daley Blind is going to score, and I think Marcus Rashford is going to score the other one. And for Aston Villa, I think it's going to be Julian Lescott, the centre-back. He's not that bad, actually. He's quite underrated in all fairness, but he's not playing well under Aston Villa's tactics this season. Now I'm going to head over to another relegation battle game between Newcastle and Swansea. I reckon Newcastle still might be relegated, but I think they could win this one, actually, because Swansea, they're doing okay. They beat Chelsea, but I don't think against teams under pressure, I don't think they're going to do well, because Newcastle still have something to play for, and Swansea, they know they still have something to play for, but against Chelsea didn't really have anything to play for in that game, so they didn't play as well. But Newcastle, I think, will do a lot better against Swansea, and I think the scorers are going to be Anita with 2 for Newcastle, and for Swansea it's going to be Ashley Williams. Now I'm going to head over to the game between West Bromwich Albion and Watford. I think the score in this is going to be 2-1 to West Brom, because West Brom are playing well at the minute, and they could finish mid-table. However, Watford, their form is going downhill recently. I reckon they'll still survive the division, but they'll probably finish 14th or 15th at the end of the season, probably. And And I think the scorers are going to be Chris Brunt with 2 for West Brom, and I think Troy Deeney is going to score for Watford. Now I'm going to head over to the late kickoff on Saturday between Chelsea and Manchester City. Although Chelsea lost against Swansea, I think they usually do well against the top 4 teams, and plus, until the Swansea game, they had an unbeaten run in the Premier League. I think they could maintain their unbeaten home form in 2016, so I think it's going to be 2-0 to Chelsea. Manchester City, they'll be lucky to get a top 4 position. I know they beat PSG yesterday, but I don't think they're really adapted to Premier League life as they are to Champions League. So I think it's going to be 2-0 to Chelsea, and I think the score is going to be Willian and John Obi Mikel. Now I'm going to head over to one of the Sunday kickoffs between AFC Bournemouth and Liverpool. You might be surprised when I say this. I know Liverpool have played well recently. I know Bournemouth, they lost to Manchester City 4-0. I know that, but they recently picked up a good win against Aston Villa. You could argue that it's not really a good win against Aston Villa since they're a bottom team. But I think the score is going to be 1-1 in this one. And I think the score is going to be Benik Afobe. And I think Martin Skirtle is going to score for Liverpool. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Leicester City and West Ham United. Leicester, they're top of the league, and I think they probably are going to get the job done fairly soon, actually, of winning the title. And West Ham, they're pushing for a top 4 position. I believe they could do it if their players are motivated. They could complete the task. However, it wasn't their main objective to the season, so not many people are expecting it. But I still think it is possible that they could make the top 4. Manchester City, they don't really play well in the Premier League, as well in the Premier League as they do in the Champions League. So I think it's going to be 2-1 to Leicester in this one. It's going to be quite tight, as we know, and West Ham, they've played well recently, drawing with Arsenal. Leicester lost to Arsenal actually this season, which is the advantage for West Ham. However, Leicester, they've won pretty much every other game this season. I think Arsenal, they're the only team that Leicester have not even got a point against this season, and every other team has lost to them, I think. And so this is why I think it's going to be 2-1 to Leicester, and the score is going to be Jamie Vardy with 2 for Leicester, and Chiarte is going to score for West Ham, even though Carroll's been playing really well recently. Now I'm going to head over to the other Sunday kickoff between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. Arsenal, they're pushing for the league title, however, they're not really successful at the moment. And Crystal Palace, they're fighting for survival, which is probably going to be set in stone now, their survival. And Arsenal, I don't think they're going to win the league now, in all fairness. And I think Danny Welbeck is going to score 3, actually. I think it's going to be 3-2 to Arsenal. Welbeck is going to score 3, actually, I think. Welbeck, he is actually a proven striker this season for Arsenal. He started the impact by scoring the winning goal against Leicester, and I can't see why he can't get more than 1 goal in that game. Crystal Palace, I think their scorers are going to be Dwight Gale and Johan Cabaye. Gale, he's a proven striker as well. He's quite young, and I think in the future he could prove to be a really good player. He could end up being like maybe Harry Kane or Vardy or whoever. And I think he's really good, so he'll score for Palace. And I think Johan Cabaye is going to score because he's a proven midfielder. He's gonna. You probably know before at Newcastle that he's been a really good central midfielder, and I think he's doing pretty much the same as at Palace. So this is why I think it's going to be 3-2. And finally, I'm going to end this episode with a game between Stoke City and Tottenham Hotspur. I think the score on this is going to be 3-2 to Tottenham. Tottenham, they have a chance of winning the league title as well. I don't think they're going to win it in the end because they're not actually that good under pressure. And I reckon they could, in all fairness, Arsenal could still finish above them. And I think that's possible as well. They don't usually finish above Arsenal, so that's evidence for why they might not finish as high as they want to. Stoke, they've been playing really well recently, so I think they're going to score as well. In fact, they're proven against many top teams, Stoke City, but I don't think it's going to come easy this time. As we saw maybe against Arsenal and Leicester this season when they were at home. They drew both games, and I can't see them doing much better against Tottenham, because Tottenham are really good as well. So I think it's going to be 3-2 to Tottenham, and I think it's going to be Glenn Johnson and Bojan for Stoke City. And I think for Tottenham it's going to be Alderweireld, Dele Alli and Eric Dyer. That's all from me for today. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel. And don't forget to comment on any changes that you think should be made. See you guys next time.